All right, Heather, I see my hubby, my kids eating X, and I think to myself, I want that. I should be able to have that. No, no, I shouldn't. I can't have that. That's not going to help me. So, what in that is the problem? Is it the food or is it your belief about the food? It's the belief about the food. I'll just cut right to the answer. So, as former dieters, as people who have constantly been on a diet, an approved food list, a non approved food list, this idea that one particular grouping of food is bad, one is good, we shouldn't eat after a certain time, with all these food rules we have floating around in our head, you kind of have to deprogram yourself, quite honestly. But what that means is when you see somebody eating a fun food, that's what I like to call it, fun food, so like a bowl of ice cream, chips, whatever, we immediately go to the shouldn't and can't. I shouldn't have that. I can't have that. And then what happens is there's this internal battle that happens. And I know because I did it for years. And it wasn't until I changed my language about it, not, changed my language, changed my beliefs, that I started to not wrestle with this. And so what it became was, you always hear me say absolutely. You absolutely can have that, Heather. And the reason I started doing that, I used to get this big smile on my face. Absolutely, you can have that ice cream. But then I'd say to myself, is that something that's going to help me get to my goals? So one of my big goals right now is I want to pay off my house by the end of the year. It's been a goal that Joel and I have been working on for a while. It's the last step of the whole Dave Ramsey process for us. And we've been really chucking away at that. And what that means is, could I buy that new designer purse at the store that I really would like? Sure, I could, right? Absolutely, I could. I could buy that designer purse. But I have bigger, more important goals for myself right now, which is paying off my house. So the way that I would say that is, Heather, you could absolutely buy that purse, but you really want to pay off this house by the end of the year. How about we wait, we pay off the house, and then we come back and buy the purse? See, this is me touching in with what is actually the most important to me, not what in the moment would feel good, versus, Heather, you can't have that. You shouldn't have that purse. But I really want the purse. And there's this tug of war that goes on internally between the you that wants something right now versus the you that maybe has these bigger goals. And it's all around this idea of can't and shouldn't. As soon as you tell somebody they can't do something, as long as you tell them they shouldn't do something, that's very negative language. And their immediate response is going to be trying to get away with it. Have you ever thought to yourself, I gotta sneak that in, right? Like you go hide out and you eat the cookies in private. Who are we sneaking it from? Like, nobody cares that we're eating the cookies. It matters to you and it mattered to me. And the reason I would sneak food, because I really believed other people thought I shouldn't or couldn't eat certain things. Like, I had built that story up in my head. And it wasn't until I changed the language around the food that allowed me to stop thinking other people even cared, right? Like, I don't care if my husband were to have cookies or ice cream. Like, I'm not going to sit there and monitor what he eats, or anybody else for that matter. I'm not worried about that because I'm worried about me and my food intake, my food intake. And I now know I can absolutely have anything I want. I have to ask myself, is it in line with my goals? Is it in line with what is important to me, Heather? Not what do I believe others think I should be doing. So I wanted to share this idea because whether you realize it or not, if you've ever been on diets, which I'm assuming you have been, you probably have these food rules circulating around in your head. And because of that, there's probably foods that when you see them, whether they're candy bars, ice cream, pretzels, chips, cheese, whatever, wine, you probably have this immediate guttural response of, I shouldn't have that, I can't have that. And I want to have you work on saying, I absolutely could have that. I absolutely could have that wine. I absolutely could have that ice cream. I am allowed to have all kinds of foods. but is this in line with my goals? Is this what's going to help me move forward? Or kind of going back to my purse in the house situation, would it be wise for me to choose to not have it today and continue to peck away at my goal and then come back and have it later? And by the way, a lot of this delayed gratification stuff I talk about, where that all comes in too is, okay, I don't impulsively have the ice cream right now. I actually plan it into my food for, say, 2 days from now. I actually put in ice cream, know I'm gonna have it, work it into my calories, my maintenance calories, whatever, and I enjoy it. It's not impulsive, it's actually very intentional. So I hope this helps, but the way you speak about food to yourself creates a lot of resistance to you making the right choice. For you to make the right choice for you, you must give yourself permission to make either choice, that neither choice is off the table. When you believe one of the choices is being taken away, most people fight for it, even if they don't want it, because they think it's something they can't have. So you can't make it to where you're feeling the sense of desperation and fear because you can't have something. You've got to give yourself absolute permission to have it, and then check in and say, is that the right decision for me right now? Is that something that's going to help me or hold me back? You have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.